yabona ANC angathi siyazi sonke ukuthi ANC was formed when 1912 1910 around there yabona. When the ANC was formed and it was formed as a nationalist organization, yabona, black nationalist organization, yabona. Basically it had all these they simply wanted to participate in the then politics. They wanted voting power. They wanted to be recognized themselves as part of the citizens of the country, which is ngabizani and for inclusion, liberal politics, young told. So they were very liberal in their approach, and their approach was very narrow and limited. You understand what I'm saying? Up until the time lapho ke khona kuvela abantu abafana nabo Robert Sobukwe, uyabona, in the 1940s, in the 1930s, uyabona. Robert Sobukwe uqhamuka Eastern Cape, uyabona. Robert Sobukwe uqhamuka Eastern Cape uzala eJozi uzofunda uba educated ugcina sekazithola eVetsi seka one of the lecturers, uyabona. But lelo thama lelo liphethe idea PanAfricanism. You understand? Kusho ukuthi the idea that we as Africans here in Africa is our home, and whatever is in Africa is ours as Africans, and the ownership of Africa belongs to us as Africans. You understand? And abantu bayenza mistake bacabanga lela thama bili racist, yabona, alibafuna amangami, yabona. But lela thama lelana lakutshela kune even nabanye abantu who are not of African origin, if they pay their loyalty to Africa and their allegiance to Africa, then we will recognize them as Africans. So coming back to your question, ukuhlukana ne kuyokwenza ukuthi at the then ANC Youth League ibe ne program which is what they called a program of action. You understand? So this particular program of action included for the first time uyangithola nendaba yeland, uyangithola ukuthi ownership yeland. We should all this time ANC blake operate in the question yeland address, uyangithola i-shelf ibekwa sekubhekwa ama human rights, uyabona those things. Kuyo le congress lena ANC Youth League mase producer this program of action included this question yeland manje, uyabona. Uthola ukuthi manje within the ANC, uyabona, sekhona manje abanaleya influence nyana leyana eyamakomanisi nabo, uyabona ukuthi ngithini. uRobert Sobukwe athi no, i-ANC, yabona, should before that ANC ignore a program of action introduce a freedom charter, uyabona. Ithi ANC ma introduce a freedom charter, aba Robert Sobukwe ba questioned idea. Should Robert Sobukwe manje sekanamanye ama PanAfricanist within the ANC Youth League ahamba naye. Bonke labantu laba bo Robert Sobukwe, abo Mandela, bo Sisulu, bonke badaba ku ANC Youth League labantu. Uyangithola ukuthi baphusha lama politics laba. But abo Robert Sobukwe manje bona baphethe that ideology ye PanAfricanism ukuthi bona bayikhala bayikha khona, you understand? And manje it's making sense. You understand what I'm saying? So bona ba question manje le freedom charter. I-freedom charter khumbula mayiphuma seyithi the land belongs to everyone who live in it. The people shall share. Yabona? And manje i-freedom charter mayiphuma as a liberal document. Ayikho manje specific mighty the land belongs to anyone who lives in it. Yabona? That means manje any European who can come and settle here, the land is his. You understand what I'm saying? Africans are not guaranteed the right to land. Yabona? It's still their right to land was being taken away on this document. And manje abaRobert Sobukwe sebakhala ukuthi but manje nina ANC wait. Nina niyakhumbula ukuthi thina besine program of action esayilaunch. Uyabona, savumelana ngayo. And kule program of action beyikhona i-clause ye-land besikhuluma ngayo. Uyabona? Robert Sobukwe manje sebathi no, thina siyaphuma kule ANC yena. Robert Sobukwe declare athi i-ANC has left the ranks of the liberation movements. You understand ukuthi ngithini? Now thina we are going to move out and form a liberation movement. Uyabona? Bayiforme i-PAC 1959 khona la eOrlando East e-communal hall. Uyabona? Bayiformela khona la the organization. Ithatha shape khona la ilaunch. Uyabona? Ukulaunchwa kwe-PAC ngo-1959 ukuchange kwe-struggle sase South Africa. In a sense ukuthi manje the struggle now became revolutionary. You understand? Now the struggle became about the land. You understand? It didn't that now become about we want voting power. We want to be part of UN, sit in the government. So now there was that definition. You understand? We as the people, we are the dispossessed. And our history dates back to the first time when you first landed here in Africa as white people and dispossessed us. We cannot ignore that history or shelve it. It's a true history. You understand? So that's when the shape of the struggle changed, like South Africa. That's when manje, even the idea of the armed struggle was introduced. Because manje, our Robert Sobukwe maseba former PAC manje, seba qala bakhuluma manje ngeland, ba irritate manje amabhunu. And by that time manje, mawutebheka ANC sevaya manje phela kahle grand masingathi siya investigator grand sibona ukuthi i-freedom charter bobani abayi-introducile yabona i-argument ikhona i-debate ikhona yabona but mina I take the side in my investigation ukuthi ama-communists yibo afake le document yabona abo-Robert Sobukwe bayilwisa la but le document is-suspicious leya siyazi leya sithengisa le manje seyisihambisela umhlaba yabona so kuvukeke i-PAC manje ikhuluma nge-PanAfricanism, i-PAC ikhuluma nge-uniting i-Africa under one PanAfricanism idea. Africa because ama-politics e-PAC yangithi awapheleli la e-South Africa and South Africa ibizwa azanya ngithi a-stretcher beyond the borders, meaning Pan-Africanism is an international ideology. You understand? If you go to America, you'll find ukuthi there are Pan-Africanist organizations like Abo Black Panther, who operated back then even in the 70s, who took a radical stand. You understand? Abo Malcolm X, Abo Marcus Garvey, Abo Haile Selassie. We are pushing a Pan-Africanist idea. So it's an old idea. Even when you read the slavery history, yes, America, Abo Frederick Douglass. You understand? The ideas that made them to rise against the slavery and actually stab and kill white people. They were of Pan-Africanism. So Pan-Africanist is a worldwide idea. Hence, Tina, as a PAC, when we say we are talking Pan-Africanism and uniting, we are not only saying we need to unite Azania. We need to unite Africa because we also don't believe in these borders. Lama borders lawa phume Berlin. Because wonke lama borders are like Africa. Aphume Berlin. Angithi if you read history, khona lento bathi scramble for Africa, where European countries met in Berlin, Germany, to cut out Africa for themselves. So Germany took Namibia and then British now had its own share, the French had their own share, you see, and the Portuguese, they had their own share. Hence now you find what we've got about South Africa, about Zimbabwe, Mozambique. And if you look at these African countries, about Mozambique, about Angola, they were under Portuguese rule. Bakhulumis Portuguese. If you go further in Africa, Bakhulumis French, they were under French rule. Amanye country bakhuluma English. If you go to Namibia bakhulumis German. They were under German rule. So all these borders, they were made at Berlin, in what was called the scramble of Africa. Ama-communists basically they believe in state ownership of everything. You understand what I'm saying? Ama-countries ayathatha that communism idea yase Russia, USSR straightforward, the way ingakhona i-raw, ayasokola. So nathi ngayi ama-Africa, ama-communists athi mawa assista ukuthi siwine ama-liberation wethu bafaka ne-influence yabo. Ngoba even ne-MK, ne-APLA, ne-Azandla, which were the liberation movements zala e-South Africa back then, zonke they were under communist influence. You understand? Because even in the Pan-Africanist movement, Azanian People Liberation Army, lento le yama-communist ne-Pan-Africanism, that idea iyakhosa tension ebhayi. Yabona? I-tension ebhayi to an extent ukuthi iyakhosa ne-division. Yabona? Within the military itself, yabona? The ideology. Yabona? Even currently today, the ideology is causing problems. Yabona? Because there are those within who possess the Pan-Africanist idea and at the side ngapha ama-communists. That is why even today, South Africa, South African Communist Party is still existing in South Africa. And then you ask yourself, what's the relevance of the South African Communist Party in South Africa in 2022? being that South Africa is governed by ama capitalist. Actually, so we are born with politics. Sometimes they don't make sense. And South African Communist Party right now it's a breeding ground for leadership. ANC, the South African Communist Party. It's even today. It has been for a long time. It still is today a breeding ground for the leadership ANC. Because irrelevant South African Communist Party, it's why do we still have it in South Africa? So they are still lingering on to protect my interest.